To many, he remains a mystery. Only 32 years old at the time of his death, Bruce Lee has endured as one of the most famous icons the world over. While Enter the Dragon turned martial arts into the next big thing, his more enduring legacy may in fact be the way he revolutionized training.
My father was an innovator. I mean, so much of what he was doing in the 50s, 60s, 70s is still so relevant and applicable today.
Compartmentalized conditioning, strength building, cardiovascular work, and proper nutrition may not seem cutting edge now, but in 1960s America, they were. On this episode of Ion Performance, presented by Samsung Galaxy Note 3 and Gear, ThePostGame.com takes a look at the innovative techniques Bruce Lee used to not only wow audiences, but push his body to its limits.
He himself started in a very traditional path. He studied Wing Chun with Yip Man in Hong Kong from the ages of 13 to 18.
Bruce Lee was an outsider as a child, due in part to his mother's mixed ethnicity.
When my father was studying Wing Chun in Hong Kong as a kid, at some point it came out that he was not 100% Chinese, and he was actually made to leave the school. They said, you can't train here, you're not 100% Chinese, we don't teach Chinese Kung Fu to non-Chinese people. It was really a theme in his lifestyle to treat people equally. He really believed in that.
At age 18, Lee relocated back to San Francisco, the city of his birth, and began teaching his own form of Wing Chun in the Bay Area. Lee was challenged to a fight with Wong Jack Man, a student of a rival school of martial arts. He was fighting for his right to teach whomever he saw fit.
My father had been teaching martial arts to anyone who was interested, and that included non-Chinese. And back in the day, that was very much of a no-no. You didn't do that.
Lee defeated Wong in less than 3 minutes. But while he was victorious, for him, it wasn't enough.
He found himself being very winded afterwards and feeling like his traditional training in one style had been very limiting. Really, it was at that moment that Jeet Kune Do was formulated in his mind.
To fulfill the promise of his new style, Lee included all elements of physical fitness in his training, not just those associated with martial arts.
My father was really bringing a level of physical fitness to it that hadn't been there previously.
For conditioning his skills, Lee pioneered the idea of splitting one's focus up to address different elements on different days. Polished skill requires real strength behind it, and Lee became an early proponent of lifting weights to gain muscle mass.
He would conceive of training equipment and ask his friends who were welders to build it for him.
Lee also knew that cardiovascular fitness was just as crucial as muscular fortitude.
He started doing tons of cardio, stationary bike, jumping rope, running. He would run 6 or 7 miles.
Proper eating became just as crucial to Bruce as any part of his physical training regimen.
My mom and he had one of the first juicers where you could commercial juice like vegetables and all sorts of things like that.
These methods of eating have remained staples of proper nutrition to this day. Lee felt that his school of training was the art of expressing the human body.
So he had a phrase which I'm sure you're familiar with: absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is essentially your own. He applied that to everything. One of the things that's key about innovation is that it's courageous. It takes a lot to walk a path that nobody else is walking.
In this medium, he is perhaps the greatest artist there ever was. This episode of Ion Performance was brought to you by Samsung Galaxy Note 3 and Gear.